What's up guys? Today we're going to unbox and test the Adventure Force Metal Racer version 2. This is a 1/18th scale car and comes with a full function 2.4 GHz controller, which we will see how good this is later. And then it says it comes with its own rechargeable battery, which means I don't have to spend money on AA's. And we will also see how good that battery really is. Oh yeah, you can also get this in 2 different colors. So if you want to know more specs about this car, or if you want to know where to buy it from, there will be a link in the description below. Let's unbox this thing. Now in the box, you get your manual, and then your remote and car. Now I don't know about you, but I think for 15 bucks, this thing looks actually pretty cool. And look, you even got an interior. Now you might be wondering to yourself, how are you supposed to recharge your battery if you didn't get a cord to recharge your battery? And that, my friends, is because, hold on a second, let me unscrew this. When you take off this plate, not only is the battery in it, but so is the charger. That's pretty neat. Now you will need a little power brick like this, but you probably have one sitting around already. And finally, here is your battery. Now let's charge this thing up, get the 2 AA's you need for your controller, and start testing this thing. Gotta wait for this red light to turn off. So for our first test, we are going to see how good this controller is. Now we're going to do that by driving this car down this driveway and seeing how far I can go from the controller using this measuring tape. Well, it looks like we have an issue. So I was standing at the end of my driveway as far as I could from these rocks, but as you can see, this car actually made it to the rocks. Now I have never had a car go this far before, but this isn't even as far as it can go. So I made it so that the throttle is constantly on, and I will just walk the car down the whole driveway and see how far it can go. So the car just lost its signal all the way up here. Now I will set this down here and measure it. But before we see how far this car went, if you are enjoying what you have seen so far and you want to see more, make sure to let me know by leaving a like on this video so that I know to make more like this for you. Thank you. Let's see how far this car went. So the total distance this car went from the controller was, I'm telling you guys, you're not gonna believe me, 340 feet. I mean, holy crap, guys, that's a crazy distance for a $15 car. I mean, that's almost as good as one of these cars. So that right there alone makes this the world's best cheap RC car. But we still have another test, and that is to see how good this battery really is. Now to test this, I'll have the controller the way I had it earlier, but this time it'll be in a vise so that not only will the throttle be on, but so will the steering. But before we go any further, I'm going to charge this battery up to get the most accurate result possible. Now the battery is all charged up and in the car, and finally we have the stopwatch, which I will stop once the tires stop moving completely and the battery goes completely flat. Now everything is set up, let's start this test right now. And here you have it. As you can hear, the battery is about done. I mean, what is it even doing at this point? I'll just go ahead and stop the timer. Now the battery is actually pretty hot, and same with the motors. So I'm actually really surprised and happy that we got about 25 minutes of runtime from this little battery. I mean, yeah, it got a little warm, but what do you expect? So we have some very good runtime from this thing, and this also goes to prove that this really is the best car you can get for $15. But there are just a couple downsides to it. The first one is that these tires are not glued to the rim, which means if you lock up another tire and spin it, the tire will move freely without the rim even budging. But that can be a simple fix with this tire glue linked in the description. Now the second downside is the switch to the car. It's positioned in a way that if a rock were to come up here and hit it, it would hit it to the off position, making you have to walk over to the car and turn it back on. But those are just little things. Now let's go over the things I love about this car. We've got some real rubber tires that grip the ground very well, and you have got actual working suspension that looks pretty cool. And now, for those of you wondering, are these real metal plates, since it's called the Metal Racer? And the answer is yes. So these are real, the name does not lie. Now if you did want to, you could take all these metal plates off and make it look very strange. And for the electronics on this thing, guys, wow, I'm so amazed. I mean, this thing has a pretty decent speed to it and a good turning angle, and you will be able to drive this car around for a pretty decent time because of the runtime on this battery. I mean, this thing has like 20 minutes of runtime and takes like 20 minutes to charge from zero, so that right there is pretty good quality, especially for something that's $15. And probably the best thing about this car is the range this thing has. I mean, to put 340 feet into perspective, that's the length of a football field. You can drive this car on a football field and not have to worry about any disconnecting. I mean, guys, that blows my mind. So I would say this is the best RC car you can get for $15. However, if you did want to get this to be able to do some 360s and wheelies and tricks like that, then I would not recommend this for you. However, this car right here is built to do all of those things. And on that note, thank you so much for watching the review today, and I really hope you enjoyed it. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.